Hello.
What is up, everybody? There you are, Maxwell. You are here with me. We have a legend. I call him a legend, the GOAT, because he made one of my favorite shows of all time. That was on Cartoon Network a long time ago. It might still, I don't think it still plays now, but if you go, it's probably to HBO Max or stuff like that. You'll find the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Um, this guy is amazing. He created the show. Mr. Maxwell. Altos.
Thank you. All of this is mostly true.
I think it's true. I think I just found this guy off the street. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I'll do for the day.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm like I said before. I'm still kicking. You know, once I stop kicking, that's when people should start worrying.
Exactly. It's been an okay day. I haven't ruined it yet. We'll just take it from here.
Maxwell, like I said before the show, thank you so much for coming on. You are a legend in my eyes. You are just a legend for creating that show as a child, like 12, 11 years old, maybe even younger than that, because I'm 26 now. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy were just awesome. They were. I loved every minute of it. I love, like I told you, Baron von Gulish. The Christmas episode, the Christmas special was amazing. I don't know why I love it so much. There's another one I love so much. I forgot Fred. I love Fred.
Sure, everybody loves Fred.
Oh, I love that man. That pig-looking dinosaur. I love him. The green monster, the green booger. You know, I can call him that. I love Fred. That was a good character. You created him.
Actually, most of Fred Fredberger is C.H. Greenblatt, the creator of Chowder. That was his episode. So he that was a weird one. It was written by the voice of Billy Richard Horvitz, and then usually when somebody writes an outline, I would just put it in a folder on my door, and somebody would come or the board artist would come and read them all and decide which one they wanted to take. So Carl picked that one, and he came to me and he was like, "Hey, I have this weird idea where I want to tell this from the perspective of one of the jurors who's going to be this weird, like, man-child monster." And I was like, "Okay."
And you know, people love him. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the show. I think it would go Baron von Gulish, Fred, always Billy, and then Grim and Mandy. Like you can't have favorite.
It would just be Billy without Mandy and Grim. The Adventures of Billy.
Yeah, and then I don't know what we'll get into because he just gets into anything he can get into, Billy. So it's like it's a win-lose situation with that guy. But my first question to you, Maxwell, is how did you create this show? Like, how did you create the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? Like, what went through your head, and what were you going through? Like, what's happening there?
I mean, I just always wanted to work in animation since I was a kid, and fortunately enough, I did well enough in art school that I got an internship at Film Roman, which is the place that I think still does The Simpsons.
Oh, wow.
But I ended up doing some work on the Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat, and after that, there was a short-lived kind of Blues Brothers primetime thing I was on that went nowhere, and then I had to get a job, so I ended up at Hanna-Barbera, which had just been bought by Cartoon Network. And they were like, "Hey, you want to pitch a show?" And I was like, "Sure." But the executives were all in Atlanta. So basically I had 2 or 3 ideas that I'd been working on, and I never met anybody. I just put it in an envelope, sent it off to Atlanta, and kind of forgot about it. And then a few months later, I got like this very nice rejection letter that was like, "Hey, we don't really love these ideas for these reasons, but we really like these kind of 2 background characters that you have," which were Billy and Mandy. So I was like, I guess I better figure out a show involving Billy and Mandy. Yeah. So it was just sort of like, I guess Billy and Mandy is kind of my love letter back to my childhood. It's just like sort of a conglomeration of all the TV shows and cartoons and media that I loved growing up, just kind of chewed up and spat back out wrong.
that I like Billy and Mandy are like the childhood best friends that like you can't get away from. You know, like those. So, what was your process through creating Billy and Mandy? Did you ever have this during your childhood, like a mean girl and stuff like that? And you were the funny boy, or like other way around, like there was a funny girl and you were just the mean guy.
No, they were. I mean, I never weirdly really considered cartoon characters to be real people. Like even when I was growing up, so Billy and Mandy weren't really based on anybody I knew. But as I developed them, I was like, oh, these are just sort of like different aspects of myself. And like somewhere deep into the series, I was like, oh, well, like you're the ego, you're the id, and you're the super ego. And like I had it all broken down. But yeah, basically, it's just they're all, it's like Mandy is sort of my critical inner voice, and Billy's the part of me that just wants to have fun, and Grimm's like the one that's like, whoa, 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 we gotta, somehow mesh these ideas and get through the day.
We got to get along, guys, but
Yeah.
I can have some fun too. So what made you come up with the Grim Reaper, like into Billy and Mandy? So you had Billy and Mandy. What made you put the Grim Reaper of all the characters you could have put in the show?
I also always loved monsters, and as a kid, I had a character who was like a knight that was a skeleton, so it was kind of in there in the back of my brain. But one of the ideas I had been working on was about a little girl who makes a deal with the devil to be her best friend. But because Cartoon Network already had the red guy on Cow and Chicken and him on Powerpuff Girls, and I know like what a huge problem dealing with those characters was for the creators and the artists, I was like, I don't want to go down that road, so I'm gonna pick the Grim Reaper.
That's the only character you could go with.
Yeah, and I don't know how it worked. Like I even took the show to Nickelodeon at one point, and one of the guys in charge there was like, hey, this is a cool show, and like clearly you're an artist to watch, but like nobody's gonna buy this because it's just gonna nobody wants the Grim Reaper on a bag of corn chips, which is true. It's like that's kind of haunted the show ever since it did get picked up.
I love, like, a lot of people loved the show. A lot of people loved like it was, how can I put it? It was like, I don't want to say weird because that's not the right word for it. It was like back then, like things are different now as we could see in the world today. But back then, you could like get away with pretty much anything in the cartoon world, you know. But I love Billy and Mandy and the Grimm. Like those were like the big three right there. It's like if like then when the Miami Heat had LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade, they were the big three on the Cartoon Network. But what is your favorite episode of the show?
It's really hard for me to pick favorites of almost anything because I feel like they change so frequently. And really, it's like whatever character or story I'm working on at the time is kind of my favorite, just because it's like that's where my attention is and whatnot. But I mean, looking back, there's a lot of different ones I like for different reasons. Like there's ones that I got to storyboard, which was pretty rare because there just wasn't a lot of time. So every season I would do one or two, and I always put some extra love into those. So I like those ones. Yeah, the specials, like those are, I think those are the ones that I have the best memories of, really, or I guess those are my favorites, are the ones where the crew really kind of had to push and collaborate, and we spent a little bit of extra time, developing some characters or some dumb idea.
Now, casting. How did the casting come about? Because you casted great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's so much of the show I feel like was just either luck or just bizarre. It's like nothing happened normally. We didn't really even do much of a casting for a lot of the parts. Somebody just came into my office one day with like a box full of audio cassette tapes and was like, there you go, there's your show, find your actors. So I just spent like days listening to tapes of people, and for Billy, it was Richard Horvitz was like one of the last ones I listened to, and I was dying inside because it was like right in the middle of like when Rugrats was super hot. So just everybody was doing Rugrats, like every voice was just like Tommy Pickles. So yeah, Richard really stuck out immediately, just his energy and the quality of his voice. I was like, that's him. And so I kind of put that one to the side. Gray and Greg actually both did come from auditions because I couldn't find anyone on the tapes that I was 100% sold on. And Mandy's a tough one to get. So Gray did amazing, like within.
She did.
Yeah, she, like, it's such a like, even like years later, she'd be like, it's just so dead. Like, you just have to like kill all feeling inside yourself. But she got that pretty quick. And then Greg, this is kind of the famous one where I had wanted the Grim Reaper to be a British guy. So we got a kind of like Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. So we even got that actor to come in and read for it. And I was just like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. And Greg Eagles came in, and somewhere between takes, he just made this joke and did like the 7-Up guy, Jamaican guy laugh and said something. And I was like, do that, but with the lines. And so he went through it with the Jamaican accent, and I was like, that's great.
Yeah, like
once that got in my head, I couldn't get it out.
Yeah, Greg is coming on the show later, and I can't wait to talk to him about Adventures Billy and Mandy. I can't get Greg on the show; it's hard to get her and Richard.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually we will get them back, so we'll get the gang back together.
Yeah, Gray, I've run into it at a couple of conventions, and she's like 6 feet away, and like the only thing will be is like, hi, and then she's just buried in fans for the rest of the time.
Yeah, because she plays so much. She kills every character she has. Like, she is so talented. I love her. I haven't met her or anything, but I heard she's like such a sweet person.
No, she's great.
So I can't wait to meet her at a con. Speaking of cons, how is that going? How would you like the convention scene?
It's been very cool so far. This is like the first time I've done it where I'm like signing at a table. And yeah, it's like I've done that, like after a panel or something, there will be a signing that goes for like an hour or whatever. But this is like kind of an all-day thing, and I've never done it. But it's cool because it gives you more time to kind of talk to people and just have a little bit of back and forth. And I've seen so many people that I haven't seen in I don't know how long. I ran into David Feast and Charlie Adler from Cow and Chicken at the last one. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then you go to like cartoon cons and everything. Are you doing anybody in the East Coast? Are you doing any in the East Coast so I can come see you?
There's one, I think early next year, but it's so far away that I haven't memorized what it is.
I feel that. Are you going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year?
I don't have any particular plan to go there, so probably not.
Probably not. Don't worry. We'll be together one day, Maxwell.
One day. If I had gotten on the early sign up early, I would have done it.
You got to come to New York Comic-Con or like Rhode Island Comic-Con.
Yeah, I do want to do that. I haven't been there yet, so.
It's New York is a whole different level, just so you know. You'll probably be overwhelmed. It's such a small, like for Artist Alley, it is such like claustrophobic city. Like everybody's bumping into everybody. Everybody's like hitting elbows. Like it's crazy. New York is crazy. I never been to like San Diego or like those bigger cons in California, but like I heard they're crazy too.
Yeah, San Diego can get insane.
Yeah, thank God I stay on the East Coast, and I'll stay there. I'll just get the nice, like, little digital things, like pins and stuff. I'll just buy them online, No one.
Sure.
I don't gotta go there. I don't gotta go there. So my next question to you, Maxwell, is if Billy and Mandy were real people and grim in 2025, what would they be like?
Are they adults?
Yeah. Hey, they could be adults or kids. Like, if they were alive today as real people, what would you see Billy and Mandy be doing? Not even Grim, because I can't even say Grim, because in a world like
the
Grim
skeleton man.
Yeah, like people would just be scared of him.
I mean, they would probably both be in, therapy and or some sort of juvenile detention center. Probably.
Mandy will probably run like an organization of like a gang or something, and she's just a badass little girl. I love Mandy. I support her. and all her vicious crimes, you know. And Billy's just, yeah, Billy. I can just say Billy. Just say Billy. Um, but yeah, they would probably be there. They would probably be in. Yeah, that's scary to think that they would probably be that. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say something else, but now I can see that.
I did write at least most of sort of Billy and Mandy. It wasn't even really a reboot. It was just sort of a movie, an end of series movie, I guess, where it was, 15 or something years later, and basically Mandy's all grown up now. Everybody's all grown up now. But there was some multiverse stuff in it, and Billy ends up just being like the same child Billy from some different universe. I think it's funny that Billy just never learns, never changes.
Yeah. No. And that's good, man, because that's Billy. You know, Billy stays true to himself. You know,
Exactly.
stays true to himself. Would you ever do a reboot of Billy, the Grim Reachers of? I so butchered that name. The Grim. I can't even speak, Maxwell. Do you hear this? Oh my God! You know what I'm saying? The Adventures of Billy. Yeah. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Would you ever do a reboot?
Yeah. I there was a time. You do like 72 half hours and a bunch of specials like back to back, and you get to the point where you're like, I need to do something else. And mostly just because you don't have time to like really kind of sit back and think about what new episodes would be. Like at a certain point you're like, I think I've done it all. So that's kind of where I was at the end of the series. And like as time's gone on, there's been a few ideas that I've been like, I would do that. And I talked to Cartoon Network about a few of them, and they're sort of embroiled in their own drama right now. So, who knows? Maybe one day one of these things will happen.
I hope so. I hope they bring back like it's a special, because the animation is so beautiful these days now. Like animation just grows over the years. So many. I'm a big animation fan. I love animation. But seeing Billy and Mandy in a better animation than it was back then, it would just be incredible. And it'd just be like a fun, maybe Save Christmas Part 2. You never know, Maxwell.
You never know.
You never know. Maybe Save Thanksgiving, the turkey monster.
We never did my Arbor Day special, so.
Oh, that's a lost episode, Maxwell.
I kind of forgot about that. I would always joke about wanting to make an Arbor Day episode. I never really thought about what that would be, but
that would be awesome if they really did. We did a reboot, because I know a lot of like the Fairly Odd Parents did a new one. A New Wish, it's called. It's out on Netflix now, so go watch that, guys. And then Danny Phantom. I want Danny Phantom back on our screens too. These are my childhood shows, guys. The only one that's making it is SpongeBob right now. SpongeBob is just killing it on the boards. But yeah, I would love to see a reboot. Now if they came to you, Maxwell, and said, Maxwell, we want a new episodes of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, how they left off, whatever they left off on, I forget what they left off on. Would you be totally down?
I mean, that's when I talked to Cartoon Network, like that was one of the options, was just do more. And I think that's the least interesting option, but if it's the only one on the table, like, it's totally doable.
Now, would you have a story, or would you just go off like, all right, that whatever last episode, we can just base it off?
I think if we were going to pick up like Billy and Mandy, where Billy and Mandy left off, and kind of ignore that Underfist happened, it would just kind of be more episodes, I think. I think, Billy and Mandy kind of is what it is, and if that's what, Cartoon Network wants and what people want, I can certainly come up with more episodes.
Maxwell, that's what I want. I want that. I need
But
that.
I will say that there are some slightly weird twists that you could make to the show that might make it real interesting.
I could see that, actually. I could see that. So now going to my next question. So the show has a lot of dark humor in the show, which we all see throughout the series. How did you balance that with making it a kid-friendly show?
I think that was just trial and error, really. It was like the early episodes are, quote unquote spookier, but I feel like they're also less funny. So it was hard for me to find that balance, and I'm not sure we ever really did. I think we did, shed some of the spooky factor after the first season and a half, just for laughs. And I'm not, I don't know if that was the right call or the wrong call, but I just feel like that's kind of where it ended up. But for me, that was like kind of the uncomfortable part, was having the first 6.5 hours come back, and just since it was my first time running a show, it's like the animation didn't look like I expected it to. There was just like so much that I had to learn. So just seeing things that I felt like were jokes kind of fall flat, and I was like, okay, I gotta do better.
No, because as a kid watching it, it's like, oh, I get that. Some stuff you do get, but some stuff you're like, huh? I didn't get that. And then Billy, and it's mostly Billy, probably. And it's mostly Mandy saying it to Billy, and Billy's just like, well, Mandy, like, just go with it, Billy, just do it, But yeah, the humor was great. I got it. Okay. 26 now.
I guess what I'm saying is I feel like I did some things early on more for shock value than for comedy shock value.
Yeah, and stuff that we don't kids really don't say. Now they do. Now this generation of kids, yes, of course. But back then, we were hush hush, humor. No. But yeah, that's now my next question, Maxwell, is who is your favorite character? Who was your favorite character in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? And why?
It probably is Billy, and it's probably just because he's so natural for me to write. It's just like I can sit down and Billy just dumps out a lot of the time. I don't know if that's a great reason to love a character, but he brought me some joy. So
he did. He's a funny guy. He's a funny kid. He would get annoying though if he was if I was taking care of him at a camp or something, I would have to no.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I would watch if I did more, was just I think it's so easy to get Billy focused when you're doing the shows that if we did more, I would probably tell the board artist just to watch that balance a little bit more.
Now, did you how can I say it? I can't even speak. Why am I not speaking today? Did you hand write the characters? Did you draw the characters? To make them their character design. How did the character design of Billy and Mandy come about?
They so I've been drawing Billy's in some fashion for most of my life. He didn't always look like he does now. He was originally just some blonde kid who was a space hero. But
were you drawing me, Maxwell? I'm blonde.
I might have been. Yeah. He actually did look a bit like you.
Oh my God, guys!
If you had ski goggles and bigger hair, it would be pretty dead on.
Maxwell, I could have been Billy.
You could have been Billy.
I'm not though.
But look how he turned out. Though.
I know.
But so eventually I ended up doing a college film that was really sort of cemented, I guess, the basics of what they ended up looking like. At that point, like a lot of people in animation, I was really into UPA and kind of those old 50s, 60s cartoons. So it was just, the idea was just to keep them to sort of simple geometric shapes. And so Billy was just like a circle with a square body, and Mandy was a circle with a square body with these weird pigtails. And, kind of as they got into development at Cartoon Network, they just got refined and simplified until I was happy with them.
Yeah, they came out great. I'm down. Everything you did on the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy are great. I used to come home from school, watch the show, put it on Cartoon Network and everything. I used to just sit there and just enjoy myself. And like I tell you, before the show, every Christmas I watched the Billy and Mandy Christmas special. It's just amazing. What was your process with that special? Did you want to create a special about Christmas and vampires and Santa Claus? What was your idea with that special?
No, it was usually when you get into a season or so into a series, the network will start asking for specials, and it's usually starts with Christmas, maybe Halloween. So yeah, they were like, hey, do a special. So I was like, okay, how long is it? And I believe it's like half an hour, maybe a little bit more.
I think it's like 40, I think 45, 40 minutes, I think, a little longer.
Yeah, so I think we did the storyboard. It ended up being a little bit long, and I don't know why they let us do it, because I think it makes it really difficult to air due to the length, but for whatever reason they did. Yeah, and since it was Billy and Mandy, I was like, well, it has to be like the wrongest Christmas special ever.
They have to go left. It can't go right. It has to go
Yeah.
left. What was your process with Baron von Gulish? Like that's the question I want to know, because I love that character, and then Fratburger, you know. So what was your process with? How did you even name him?
I just like naming things, so that just happened. Yeah, and when the whole thing was storyboarded by, I don't want to get the names wrong, but it was myself and Brett Barron on this particular section with Baron von Gulish. So I just remember we had watched the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula, with where Gary Oldman has like the giant hair. So it's sort of playing with that idea. It's just he's like sort of this frilly shirt wearing fop who's a vampire, and there wasn't a whole lot to him. And then when we cast him, this was like my first kind of stunt casting, which generally doesn't go very well, but in this case we got Malcolm McDowell, who is amazing. So I was thrilled to meet him, and he was Alex in Clockwork Orange, and so I put in during the scene where he's brushing his teeth, he's humming "Singing in the Rain," and I was like, well, I'll never be able to do this, but we'll get a laugh out of it. And then it turned out Warner Brothers owned "Singing in the Rain," so I could do it. And then we got into the booth, and I was like, shit, what if he like hates singing the song and being reminded? And I was like, oh god, why did I do this? And then he just started cracking up, and he was like, oh, I love this. And I was like, oh, thank god.
Thank god. We pray to the Lord. We pray to the Grim Reapers.
But a really cool guy, and he breathed a lot of life into that character.
He did. One of my favorite characters. I love him. I love Baron von Gulish. It's just so nice. Now, how did you come up with the idea of Santa being the vampire and Mrs. Claus in on it? How was that?
I mean, that's kind of where the idea started. Was like, what if Santa's like secretly a vampire?
Oh.
And so everything kind of spun out from there. Yeah, so most of the shows came from like a 1 to 3 page outline. This was probably 4 pages, I would guess. But yeah, so I just had the kind of the basic plot in there that Santa's the vampire, and there's the fake out with Baron von Gulish, and Mrs. Claus ends up being the head vampire. And that then the board artist kind of took that and worked with it, and then once you've got the cast and everything, you kind of dip back in and touch some things up if you have the time.
Yeah, it was amazing special. I love that special. Like I said, I watch it every Christmas.
Yeah, and Gilbert Gottfried, of course, and Carol Kane as Mr. and Mrs. Claus were also amazing. Like, what a gift to get Gilbert Gottfried as vampire Santa Claus.
I know. And he killed it. He killed the Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus too, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. So my next question to you, Maxwell, is how did you get started being a producer, a voice actor? How did that all come about? What's the story of Maxwell Adams?
I mean, it really is just I never met with anyone in person. Somebody bought a pilot from me. I did the pilot. And then they were like, hey, we're basically turning this into proto-reality TV. So that was the Big Pick weekend, where they had the audience vote on what of 3 cartoons they wanted to go to series. And that's, that was the beginning of Billy and Mandy. So after that, it was just sort of me struggling to figure out how to produce a show. And then, by year 3, I think I had it down pretty well, and I think we started to run a little smoother. Yeah, and just from there, it's kind of a combination of everything I love. It's I guess what I love is creative problem solving, but it allows me to draw, it allows me to write. The management stuff I didn't love at first, but now it's like I understand how important it is, and it's you got to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Was there any creative risks that you took during the Billy and Mandy? Did you want to do something, but you're like, maybe that's too over the top, or did you just go, you know what, screw it, I'm doing it, and I don't care what anybody says? Was there any risks that you took that you shouldn't take?
I mean, when you're in it, it all feels to some degree risky. But yeah, I think the most difficult part for me was that first, the first 6 hours, the 6 half hours, or maybe 10, just where we actually did get technically canceled a few times, where they were just like, hey, well, we're picking up shows, we just don't know if we're picking up yours yet. And I'm like, okay.
All right.
Then you lose the whole crew, and you're like, well, if we do get picked up, like, what's this show going to look like? Because it's going to have a whole different bunch of people with it. So yeah, just during those early days, it's just doing a show that did have dark humor. I was like, is this a mistake? Like, did I fuck that up? So dropped the F-bomb there.
That's all right. Maxwell, I curse on the show all day long. That's
Okay.
all right. Ain't no PG-13 up in here.
Fuck it then.
Yeah, fuck it. Before you kick the bucket.
Yeah.
So Maxwell, when I have another question, hold on, I gotta find it on my clipboard. Oh, was there an Easter egg or inside joke that fans didn't notice?
Probably. Like, the whole show is basically just a bunch of Easter eggs speckled together. So, I mean, yeah, from the opening title, we some friends and I put together in like 3 days.
Wow.
It's a lot of sort of flash animation and paint that we were splattering on a whiteboard in the driveway and stuff like that. And then there's like all the kind of film grain that goes over top of everything. And there's like little pops in the film grain that are just like weird deformed Mandys. Nobody's ever brought those up, but they're in there. Yeah, there's tons, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, probably in the hidden chambers of Maxwell Adams.
Exactly.
Some of the chambers. For the show, is there one thing that you could change about the show, or you loved how it turned out? Is there one thing or a couple things, you can name them, that you would change about the show, or not? You could just be like, this is my show. Fuck you people. I loved it. You should love it. Go watch it.
I mean, it's 20 whatever years later now. There's definitely things that I've learned and things I would do differently. Just as far as the episodes themselves go, the very last episode we put out, there's it's a two-parter, and I can't remember what one part is, but one is called Heartburn, and
Yes.
it's like a magic camera thing, and Irwin kisses Mandy, and the whole thing just feels really off to me, and I just didn't have like time to devote to whipping that one into shape because we were doing so many other specials in the DVD and such. But yeah, I wish I had actually just not slept that night or whatever kept me from going in there and tweaking a couple things. It's just watching that one kind of hurts.
If you could redo it, you would.
I
would. So with Mandy, like, she is mean. She is so mean. I love Mandy. Don't get me wrong. I love her, but she is so mean. Did you at any time were like, you know what? Today she'll be nice. Sometimes she was, but sometimes she couldn't be. She couldn't do it. Like, she was just gonna cry or just explode with anger. Was there a time that you were like, maybe we'll give her a boyfriend or something? Was there any time, or you're like, no, this girl's just playing?
I mean, I always say when there's like a question or a problem in a project, that's like an opportunity for a story. And we did have the Piff episode where Mandy falls in love and
yes,
gets all Twitter pated. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, I never really thought about them as actual human beings. So it's like they were more just like icons, and I didn't want them to drift too far off base. And really, it's like between Billy, Mandy, and Grimm, like the show was really just designed for pure conflict. So
Pure destruction.
yeah, I just it didn't really dawn on me to have them have like genuine, heartfelt conversations about things.
Now, I wanted to ask you before because we talked about conventions. So at the conventions, I don't know, do people dress up as Billy and Mandy and Grimm? Have you seen any cosplayers of them?
Yeah, it's pretty rare, but every now and then you get a Billy or a Mandy or a Grimm. There was a pretty good Grimm in Houston this year. There was a great Major Dr. Ghastly like a decade ago where I was like, wow, you really went all out.
You really killed it. You really killed it. Now my last question to you, Maxwell, is if anybody's out there listening, what pieces of advice would you give a voice actor, a producer, a creator of something that they're creating? What advice would you give them?
I would say just do it. The Nike suggestion. But yeah, I mean, if it's something you love, you just got to keep doing it. And it's like a hard time for artists in general right now, just with the studio mergers and bad decisions and AI and all that. But yeah, it's hard for me sometimes. I'm like, oh, like what am I even doing? And I'm like, well, I didn't even used to have to ask myself that. I was just drawing because it's something I loved, and it helps me process the world around me. So I'm trying to get back to that, and maybe y'all should too.
Maybe you should really get to drawing, guys. Now you have a Streamly signing coming up on July 26th. Okay, what will be there for people watching now?
Yeah, it'll be me. I'll be signing. I'll be drawing. I assume maybe I'll be answering dumb questions. I hope there's like some chat going on. Otherwise, it'll just be me blabbering about nothing. But we'll see. This is my first one. There's also the Funko Pops and Richard and Gray, the voices of Billy and Mandy, are also signing. So it's like one-stop shopping. You can get things signed without leaving your couch.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive though, shopping from your couch, but
it always is.
Yeah, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Now Funko Pops, how cool is it to see your creations on a Funko Pop?
Yeah, it's awesome. Especially since Billy and Mandy are not really designed for 3D. Like, if you ever like sit down and draw them, there's like angles we just don't draw Billy at because he looks horrible. So in the past, like when people have sculpted them in 3D, I'm just like, ugh, no. But yeah, I had no input on these whatsoever, but they look fantastic. So
They do. I have them. I love them. You got to sign them for me, Maxwell. You got to sign them for me.
Oh, I will.
But Maxwell, before we go, where can everybody find you on the social medias?
I'm on Instagram as the real Maxwell Adams. Don't accept the fakes. I'm on Tumblr as Maxwell Adams. Where else am I? Am I anywhere? I am. Oh, I have a Patreon. That's also Maxwell Adams.
I think I'm on Patreon. Hold
on. This month, there's a Kickstarter up for this project Vampire by Daria Cohen. And I saw that. Wrote her pilot for her, so you can check that out too. But that's about it for now.
Now, where can so if going to a convention, where would you be next?
Oh, that'll be SAC Anime, the Sacramento Animation Convention at the end of August.
Ooh. You gotta come to the East Coast, Maxwell. We gotta.
I want to. It's been I haven't been there since I was in college, so it's time.
It's time for Maxwell Adams to come back. You know, I love that name, Maxwell Adams.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it is. It just has like you could be a king of something. You know, you could just be like the king of Maxwell Adams. You know.
That's about all the responsibility I would want.
And that's it. Thank you, Maxwell, for coming on the show. I appreciate your time. I loved every second of this. You're my childhood. You know, you created what I watched, you know, as a child, and I love it so much. I hope, cross my fingers and pray to the Lord that it gets a reboot or something kicks up, I would want, as a fan to have it just like where they left off on the finale, or the special that you guys did, and that was it, and then go from there. Because seeing them grown up, like I asked you that question earlier, it would be a little weird to see how they would grow up, like their character designs and everything like that. What would Mandy do? Is she in like prison or like getting a cult of gang members? Billy's like still sniffing like food with his big nose, Yeah. Like, is Grim like just still like sitting on the couch and doing nothing, when he has to get up, or babysit his children, I call them his children. Those are his kids, But I would love to see Billy and Mandy back on our screens. I think it's time, Maxwell. If you need help, Maxwell, you just call me.
All right, you become a Cartoon Network executive, and we'll get this.
I got you. I can do that. Let me just get my hat. Hold on, get my hat.
You make a hat.
But thank you, Maxwell, so much. Guys, he will be signing live. He will be signing autographs, drawings on Streamly Live. So go check them out. I will put the link in the description, so you guys can go support him and buy from him and ask him questions. He's a good talker. He's on my show.
Maybe I am. We'll find out.
We'll find out. On the next episode of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
If we do this again, we'll have to talk about Star Wars. There's so many Star Wars Easter eggs in Billy and Mandy. So many.
Oh, we could have. Why did you say that till now, Maxwell? We could have been talking about that.
I don't know.
Oh God, Maxwell!
I forgot.
I love that. That's a mood. That's a whole mood. I forgot. Like, I don't know. I can't remember everything. But yes, you're always welcome back on my show, Maxwell. Always welcome. But thank you guys for joining me. Be kind to one another, and may the fools be with you, my friends.
All right.
Bye.